Here with Western Carolina University head women's golf coach Courtney Gunter. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm good. Thank you for
Good.
having me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Always grateful for any coach who takes time to chat with me. Yeah, so the fall season just ended. Can you tell me how did the fall season go for you and your team?
It was good. This one was definitely different because we started our fall season basically right as the kids got back to school and we went to Japan.
Yeah,
And so that was, very, very different. That experience was awesome. It was so cool. It could be a once in a lifetime thing. And we had a great time there. Not, I don't regret doing it, but it was a different start to the fall. We didn't play another tournament for another month after we got back, and then we played three back to back. So it was yeah, it was just a weird fall, but it was good, and we did okay in the rest of the three. We finished second and one, which was really good. So yeah.
nice. Yeah, I watched an interview that you did, and you said that you had a connection to go to Japan. But can you tell me how does little, Western Carolina get to play in a tournament in Japan to start out, your season?
Yeah, I've had that question asked too
Mhm.
many times to count.
Yeah.
But basically, the organization that is doing this tournament, there's a school associated with it to help them host. And there's a professor that's associated with that school that used to be here at Western, a Japanese professor. And when they asked her for recommendations on who they should invite, she said, "You got to invite Western." So we got lucky there because as soon as I found out, I was like, "We got to do it. Whatever we can do, we got to do it."
Nice. Can you also tell me about, obviously getting, first is always the goal, but you finished second at FAU Florida Atlantic's tournament in October. That was your
Yeah.
team's best result of the fall season. So, obviously getting first place is always the goal, but looking at it, your team just fell short. But can you just tell me about, that tournament and, your team's best finish of the fall?
Yeah. So the year last fall we won that event. So we were going
Okay.
back trying to defend. And that golf course it's good. It's a Gil Hans design, so it's kind of crazy. You're like teeing off on one hole and there's a green that you think you're hitting to, but the green's actually way to the left. So it's a fun golf course to play. And we obviously played really well there last year. And this year I thought we did play well again. FAU is a good team, and they had one of their players that won it. She finished 10 under, I believe, um, or something close to that. But one of my players finished second, and she finished 10 shots behind the first place girl. So, um, that they just made it really hard to beat that team. But otherwise, I thought we played pretty well.
And not only did you go to Japan in September, but in March you'll also be going to Puerto Rico. So can you tell me a little bit about, what will it be like going to Puerto Rico, and how did this tournament come about that you guys got
Yeah.
invited to this tournament?
Yeah. So I always try to student athlete experience is really, really big for me. I mean, I was a student athlete, and the trips we got to take and the things we got to do, even outside of golf, are the things I remember now. And so I'm really big on just trying to switch up our schedule and go new places. And I've wanted to go, out of the country or to a new, kind of a different, cool place for a while. And the Puerto Rico one came up. And so I was like, yeah, it fits our schedule. It's over spring break. Let's do it. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Nice. And yes, we were talking about, your conference championship's always in April in Hilton Head, and maybe I'll get to go down there if my schedule works out because I always go down there for a week. That's where my grandmother lives. But so yeah, can you tell me a little bit about the Southern Conference for women's golf? What teams do you compete against, and can you just tell me a little bit about your conference championship that you host that is hosted every year in Hilton Head, South Carolina?
Yep. Yeah. So the SoCon, it's a pretty strong conference. We've got Furman up there, who in recent years has been top five in the country. They're
Mhm.
always very good and hard to beat. They've won the conference a majority of the time, especially lately. And then you've got lots of other good teams: Mercer, Chattanooga, ETSU, Samford's playing really well this year. UNCG is playing well, so it's always very competitive. And Moss Creek is a very difficult golf course. They redid the greens, and they are firm. fast. It was a challenge last year for sure. So we are a little bit more prepared knowing what those are going to be like. But yeah, it's a good, tough golf course.
Nice. So last year your team started out the fall season with three victories, and then you got a second place finish in your fourth event in the fall. So what was it like, to start out last year in the fall season with three straight victories?
It was fun. Winning's always fun.
Yeah.
The first event, it was a really tough golf course, and we just went into it with I thought a really good mindset. We had a game plan. We stuck to it. Everyone did on the team. It was a total team effort. And I mean, honestly, we were a little surprised that we won that. Like, we didn't go in expecting to win it. So that was just a good win to start. Then the next one, it was a smaller field event, but we played really, really well. We broke some school records, and just shot some really low scores. I think we had 4 players in the top 5 there. So that was good. And then the third one was Jupiter, and we're like, let's just go win another one. They kept doing what they needed to do. And then the last one finished in second. Actually felt like it felt like we finished last because we didn't win, but keep it in perspective, it was a really, really good fall. But I was really proud of them. They just kind of stuck to the game plan. They all competed as a team, and it paid off.
Personally for you, what did it mean for you to be named the Southern Conference Coach of the Year last year?
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, that's an honor I've wanted to get. And, a lot of the times the conference coach of the year is chosen from the team that wins. And, a lot of times it's very much deserved for that coach. But for me to get it and us not win, that felt good for me to just be recognized by the fellow coaches in the conference that, the team has made some progress, and, we're doing really well. And to be recognized I was proud of that.
So my next question I asked to every coach, but can you tell me, how did you get started playing golf? What age did you begin playing? And can you just tell me about some memories you have, growing up playing golf, whether that be, junior or high school golf?
So I started playing when I was about 4 years old.
Okay.
Me and my dad played tennis in high school, and we started playing golf together. He started playing, and he just took me out there, and he actually he didn't really know much about the game at all. And so he went to, I think it was like a Play It Again Sports, and he bought a 4-iron, which was probably super stiff, got it cut down, made it even stiffer. And that's what I played with, that and a cut down putter. So that's what I had, a 4-iron and a putter to start. And we would go out to this little par 3 course near our house. Just terrible par 3 course. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, the greens were, rolling like a 6. But that's what we would go play, and I have really good memories there. And yeah, so just kind of took it from there. He and I grew up playing together, and we still do, which is fun.
Nice. 4 years old. You have me beat by 4 years. I started when I was 8, so it's
Yeah.
awesome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in high school you won 3 state championships. So what was it like to win those 3 state championships in high school?
Yeah, that was fun too.
Mhm.
I don't, it was, the first one was, again, like, I didn't expect to win, and that was surprising for me.
Mhm.
And then, the next couple years, like, it was always my goal, like, okay, I gotta, I want to win. I want to win. So just doing it was an accomplishment and a goal that I had. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
So you're from North Carolina and you played collegiately for UNC, University of North Carolina. So being from North Carolina, what did it mean to you to play for, UNC and represent the Tar Heels?
Yeah, it was really fun experience. So before high school, I lived up north for a few years, and my parents are from North Carolina. I was born here, but we moved up north for a while, and we came back right before I started high school. And my parents said, we want to put you in a golf camp this summer. And the ones that fit our schedule was UNC and Duke. And for whatever reason, it was written in the stars that the UNC one was the one we chose. And as soon as I got there, I just fell in love with it, and I knew that was where I wanted to go. And so that was always my goal, was just to play there, and to get to do that and have a good time and a good experience there was awesome.
Nice. So it sounds like you were destined to play at UNC. So
That's
it's
right.
awesome that you're able to go back to your home state where you were born and
Yep.
play collegiate golf. So yeah, can you just tell me about your collegiate career and your time at UNC? What was it like, playing in, four regionals, two national championships, and yeah, can you sum up your time at UNC?
Yeah, it was honestly, my time there, like, my golf game was a lot up and down. I got burnt out a little bit towards the end, and just how golf is, it's crazy game. And it was I got pretty frustrated there for a while, just got burnt out. So the golf was very much up and down, and I just needed a break when I finished. But the experience I had with my teammates and traveling and just being a student athlete there and being on the team was incredible. And I would do it again if I could.
Yeah, so I see after college you began your coaching career right away, as an assistant women's golf coach at East Carolina, while you're also getting your master's degree. So can you tell me what was it like balancing your coaching duties and getting your master's degree? And also, how did you know, right away after your, collegiate career at UNC, how did you know right away you wanted to be a college coach?
Yeah. So uh, before I graduated, the plan was always just, try to go pro. That was
Yeah.
always the plan. Didn't really have a different plan in place. But my senior year, the coach at ECU, Kevin Williams, called my coach and was like, "Hey, I have an opening for a grad assistant. Do you have any of your players graduating that might be interested?" And I had never really thought about it before, but she said, "Hey, got this opportunity. Would you be interested? You get your master's." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll look into it," and thought about it. Um, so the plan was to still, Kevin was all about me still trying to turn professional while I was still a grad assistant for him. So that was the plan. Practice the next year to go to Q school the following summer, and had plane tickets booked to go to California for stage one. And then my appendix decided to rupture 2 weeks before. So we didn't go. I didn't play. And it was then that I just kind of realized, I'm really enjoying this coaching thing. And I think that's what I want to pursue instead of trying to play professionally. So, again, I just think that was like a God thing. It just worked out that way. But yeah, so I thought, getting back to why did I do that? I thought, worst case is I hate it. I still can get my master's, and then move on to something else. But I fell in love with it instead. And so finished my master's, and then I was there for another year, a third year, full time.
Nice. So in 2018, you got your first head coaching position at Western Carolina. What did it mean to you? You started as an assistant coach and you got your first head coaching position in 2018. So what did it mean to you to get, your first head coaching position at Western Carolina in 2018?
Yeah. So being an assistant, I was assistant for 5 years. And I just, at that point, I'd learned from two different coaches who have two different coaching styles. And I was able to learn a lot from both of them. And, I just thought, okay, I'm ready to kind of do this on my own and see what I can do with my own team and my own coaching style and finding all that out. And I never lived in the mountains before and didn't think I would like it, but I came here and fell in love right away. I mean, I love living here. And I thought the opportunity was good because this team before I got here was ranked pretty low. They're ranked pretty low. And so I thought the only way to go is up, we'll see, so yeah, it was just a good opportunity at the right time.
So yeah, you're a former college player yourself, so I'm interested to know, does being a former college golfer yourself, help and give you the perspective to know, what your players are going through, balancing, academics, golf, sometimes they're playing, out there long days, grinding on the
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. I draw on that a lot. I tell them all the time, like, hey, I've been in your shoes. I know how you're feeling. And then, like I said, in college, my golf game wasn't perfect. It was, I had a lot of up and downs, and a lot of bad days on the course and this and that. So I actually, I've come to think that I'm grateful for those times, because now when my players are starting to go through that, I'm like, hey, I was right there with you. They see the accolades that I got and like, oh, my bio is really good, but it's like I had really tough days too, and I can relate to you and use that experience to try to help them. But yeah, even days like if it's raining, it's cold, they don't want to be out there. I'm like, I know I was there, but let's just go get the job done. So.
Can you talk to me about, building the culture for your team there at Western Carolina and, how you're getting your players to focus on, the team result over any individual success?
Yeah, that's that was a big thing for us when I was in school, when I was in college, was our team was really, I thought our team was really close knit, and there wasn't anybody who was like just out there for themselves. We were all in it trying to win team championships. And at the end of the day, it's more fun to win with your team than win by yourself anyway. And so when I came into this role, I knew that was going to be our focus, was, stop caring about yourself. You're caring about your team now. So everything we do is just, team first, everything. And I just kind of tried to build that from day one, and they've bought in it. I mean, it took some time, but they bought in. I have the right leaders, and yeah, they do what they need to do and try to keep recruiting kids that'll continue to buy into that culture.
And something interesting I found out about is you have your team write thank you notes. So can you tell me a little bit about the thank you notes and what does writing these thank you notes what does it teach your players?
Yeah, you really did your research. That's good.
Thank you.
I've got a stack of them right here next to my desk, but yeah, it's just gratitude. I mean, it goes a long way. They should be entirely grateful for this experience they've had, and it's not just one person that got them here. It's a ton, and it continues to be a ton of people that help them get to this point and get to do what they do on a daily basis. So, just taking the time to actually write out a little bit, saying thank you and writing your name, and just taking the time to do that, I think it goes a long way. And for them to kind of take that into their life moving forward, just that idea of it, I think that's really important. I actually had one of my seniors graduated last year, and before she left, she hand wrote thank you notes to all the people at Western that had impact on her life. And I had several of them come up to me, and they're like, we never get letters from student athletes. Like, that was so awesome. Like, it just meant so much to them. So
Nice. So I also heard you're trying to build a short game facility at your school. So have you started building that and or is it still in the works? Yeah. Can you tell me a little about the short game facility you're trying to build there?
yeah, so we have a full facilities campaign going on right now for a bunch of different facilities for athletics. And part of that is a golf building and outside short game area. So right now we have an indoor area, and we have 2 TrackMan simulators. We've got 3 TrackMans. We've got Sam Putt Labs. So we've got all the technology. We have a putting green in there and a hitting bay. But this would give us an outside area to practice on campus, which would be, pretty important, pretty helpful for the kids. So, yeah, so our entire facilities campaign is going on. We hope to start breaking ground next fall if everything stays on time. But yeah,
That goes
make a
well.
big difference.
Nice. I hope that goes well. Be very beneficial. Yeah. So does your team have like a home course, or is there several courses around your school that your team practices at regularly?
There's a lot of courses we play at. We're really close to Cashers and Highlands, which is a very nice area in North Carolina. And a bunch of the top courses in the country are here. So we get access to a lot of very, very nice golf courses, which is good. And then we have a couple courses nearby that we go to get in a good practice session. Waynesville, it's called Waynesville Inn Golf Resort. They just redid that, and they have a phenomenal practice area now. And the guys who own that and work there used to be college golfers, so they
Mhm.
get it and they know that what we need, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to give us those resources. So they've been incredible, and they just reopened, they redid it, but they reopened this fall. So we were out there this fall, and it was like it was a game changer. Before we were limited at what we could do, and now we can hit all kinds of shots. Like the girls go out there and they're like, oh my gosh, I can hit this shot that I needed to practice for this tournament coming up, whereas before we like couldn't do that. So it's been really, really helpful.
My final two questions that I want to ask is right now you're in your off season, so you had your final tournament of the fall season and on October 24th, and then your first tournament of the spring season is February 12th. So that's roughly 3.5 months. So what do
Mhm.
you and your team do in this, these, off season, these, 3.5 months? You know, what do you do in between for these months, to get ready for the spring season?
I honestly like for them to use this time to rest a little bit.
Okay.
This is a good time for them to catch up with school. They got exams coming up. So I definitely give them a lot more time to do all that stuff. Um, the good thing is this group is very self-motivated, and they're going out there and doing what they need to do on their own anyway, but it's just more on their schedule so they can kind of do what they need to do. We will get together, once or twice a week and kind of do a practice or do something fun on the golf course together. But in the end we work out still. We ramp that up a little bit in the off season while we're not competing. Um, so, we use it as a time to get stronger and work on grades and all that while still maintaining the golf side, but also a time to rest a little bit.
A final question. Yeah, for you personally, what do you enjoy most about being the head women's golf coach at Western Carolina?
I love my job. It's so fun. I guess the best part about it is the student athletes and just getting to interact with them on a day-to-day basis and create those relationships and watching them succeed and just get better and reach those goals that they have is, I mean, you can't get that feeling anywhere else. And when we like win as a team, just that kind of feeling and that atmosphere we have is it's incredible. That's probably what I love the most about it.